sandstone. John Wood Forest's distinctive geography of granite-topped hills, wooded valleys and heath was created in a volcanic eruption some 600 million years ago. The farmhouse and its grounds sit on the shoulder of the forest, 400 feet above sea level. There is a formal garden to the front, and at the back, facing south, the romantic cottage-style area overlooking surrounding farmland, which is a mixture of arable and pasture grazed by the owners, prize-winning herd of pedigree English longhorn cattle. The sky looks amazing in that picture. I don't know whether the camera is picking it up, but it's lovely. There's more pictures of the garden. Look at that. Lovely countryside. Strawberries. I love strawberries. I think they're, blueberries. I like blueberries as well. I've always been a bit unsuccessful at growing strawberries. I did try once, but I think I got one strawberry, and it wasn't very large, and nor very sweet. The garden in June. That is an advert for buy a collection of 36 perennial plants for $8.99. Clouds of colour. Lovely. Look at those. With their umbrella-like canopy of dainty flowers, Achillea infuses the early summer garden with a carpet of rainbow hues. Beautiful. Let's read what it says here. The June sky is blue and almost cloudless. The sun warm on the skin. Out in the garden, the sound of a joyful bird song fills the air, and there is a gentle hum of bees as they buzz about their daily business. A peacock butterfly flits across the lawn and into the border, coming to rest on a natural landing stage provided by the plate-like flower head of a crimson-hued Achillea. The plant is alive with insect activity on this glorious early summer afternoon, as tiny beetles, bees, and butterflies seek food among the clusters of miniature, rubescent flowers. Very nice. These are different varieties, different colours. That one's called Peachy Seduction, Summer Wine, Cloth of Gold. berries and